Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, I am joined by the amazing Alistair. Alistair, this was your second round of coaching, and the first time was a couple of years ago. You had lost your virginity at age around 27. You overcame erectile dysfunction and performance anxiety. You lost a bunch of weight. You learned how to love yourself. You met a bunch of women and had tons of wild, crazy, amazing bedroom adventures. You slept with a stripper, a doctor, and a student. That sounds like the beginning of a funny joke. And you even started a business. This time around, you came back to coaching for the second round, and this time you became a lot more outcome independent with women and with customers in your business. You explored kink with a few girls. You feel much more masculine and have more self-trust in and out of the bedroom. You're stronger than you've ever been in the gym. You started recording videos for your own YouTube channel, some of them motivational, some of them like personal training videos. And you overcame a ton of adversity, especially in your business, and built a much more positive mindset. My God, man, how do you feel?
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good. Yeah, it feels as good as you'd think it would. Definitely does.
Imagine if you're like, it feels awful. I hate this. I hate achieving goals. I hate success.
So for context, I moved to a big city to focus on dating first time. That worked so well. That was really life-changing, actually. That was one where I think it was the doctor who I was seeing. That was when the coaching ended, just towards the end of the first time at the coaching. And yeah, we went on we saw each other for like six months or so, which was amazing. I was kind of trying out my business then too. So I got to share all that with her, which was really cool. I actually ended up storing a load of equipment down the side of her house because I was living in a flat at the time as well. So that was really good of her. Yeah. And she was my first customer too. She didn't pay for anything, but yeah, I did all the windows and the gutters as well. Saved her from a bit of moss overhanging one of her gutters. We like to joke about.
This is why we get into dating in the first place, right? So that women can help us with our business. That's the only reason we're doing this, right?
Well, it happened again more recently too.
Yeah, see? That's why we sleep with women. We're just using them for business advice and business help.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, ladies. Yeah. It's not about the sex. It's not about the intimacy or the connection or anything else. Guys don't really like that stuff. Women like sex. Men just like business. Yeah.
Yeah, she gets orgasms and I get to clean her driveway. So that was kind of like she was just awesome. Everything was just like really incredible. It was such a good time. I think I even said when I moved back, like that was the highlight of moving to Nottingham. Just spending time with her was really fucking cool. So yeah, that went on for 6 months, and now I'm in a small town. It's still been really good, which is really surprising. There's 30,000 people in my town, and it was literally the week before I rejoined the coaching. I went on a little run because I've been working my business since March till June, and I'd hit 100 customers. And to celebrate, I just went on a little Tinder rampage, and I saw 8 girls in like 8 weeks, which was really, really surprising for how small. I was driving out to some, and I figured out my own ways to kind of work around it. But yeah, I've been really surprised. It's been really interesting to see how my profile still works in this small town, basically.
A lot of the time when someone's in a small city, sometimes we will say like, hey, you can just move if you want to. But that doesn't mean that you have to. You can still have success in a small town. It's just there's going to be a smaller dating pool, obviously. And you're potentially not going to go out and cold approach 100 girls in the middle of the small town in one day.
Yeah,
I mean, you could if you want to.
I can't do that here. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just like not that many people. You could go door knocking. You go door knocking in like your little small town.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, are there any single ladies in there? Any single ladies that would like to go on a date with me? To go back to like how you felt before the first round of coaching, when you were a virgin at 27, 28, around that age, how did it feel?
The scary part, which is what gave me initial sort of almost panic attacks and drove me to look for advice, was I started to think that I couldn't change, because on some level I knew I probably could get some results. I had this kind of mindset I probably was going to get really bad results, but I got to a point where 27, a week until I was going to turn 28, and I said I could have got something by now, and that would be way fucking better than nothing. It was a fact that I wasn't really trying, and that became a loop of thinking like, maybe I can't change or break out of this, because then I kind of did the worst. The best and the worst thing I did was look on Reddit.
Mm.
I think it's called like Forever Alone on Reddit, and it's not it's not good reading these stories. There'll be guys there who are like, I remember reading one. I think it's like 44, and just thinking like, why the fuck haven't you fixed this? You've been hiding for 44 years. And then looking at me, and I was like, shit, I've been hiding for like 10 years. Is that going to be me? And the worst one, it was a news article. I think it's just called like Late Legends. And there was one guy, he reached like 40, something like 40. And he said he went to see an escort, and she told him he was too ugly to sleep with. And then that was it. He gave up. And it wasn't even the fact that maybe he was too ugly. It was just like he tried once, and then that was it. And he was like 60. He was like 60 years old by the time he was actually interviewed for the article. And I just remember thinking, like, you tried once. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You could have like had a completely different life, but you just gave it one go and gave up. And then I looked at myself and I was like, okay, let's not fucking be that guy, because that's gonna just suck shit. Like, that's not gonna be a good. That's going to be something that would haunt me on my deathbed, 100%. It was that kind of feeling of not being able to change, which was the main thing. Because I was getting some attention. I was a lot fatter and like a lot chubbier, but I was still getting some attention. But it was like more of a mental thing. Yeah, and then finding it was the Ravi interview. And I remember reading his logs. So meanwhile, I'm kind of just like sat at home because I'm scared, but I know I can probably get some results. I just don't know how to. And meanwhile, there's this guy out here like, and he'd make these posts of like, you know, like going out for hours to get like brutally rejected, but then like he would get results. And I was like this guy saying he's got like, you know, he's changed now, but like at the time he was saying like, you know, like women hate him and like think he's ugly and all this kind of stuff. But meanwhile, like he's got all this stuff wrong with him, but he's still out there going for it. And I was just like, he might not be happy about it, but he's still out there trying. So like reading that was really big to see someone who, I guess you could say like the way he was looking at himself anyway would be what kind of the worst case scenario of every, you know, just he viewed himself as repulsive to women. And yet he's still out there doing it, and he's still getting some results. So then I just felt like I've got to do something, because things aren't that bad for me, and I'm just kind of it's almost like a type of perfectionism I've got. Like just one like rejection or bad experience is going to just crush me for some reason. And I think maybe I feared I would be like that guy who got turned down by the one escort, and I would get crushed once and just that would be it. So maybe I was afraid of that too. But yeah, you kind of just run the maths and you think I'm going to do something, because yeah, otherwise it's just, yeah, kind of life. I'm not saying you can't have a good life without connection like that, but like, why would you even try to do that if you can achieve it? So yeah.
There's this thing that I think will bring me lots of joy and happiness and excitement, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah. And a lot of people get very stuck on their stories. Like everything you were talking about just there are the narratives and the stories that our ego presents to us. You know, I'm not good enough. I'm never going to be able to change. What's the point? No woman would ever like me. I'm ugly. Like that guy that you mentioned that went to one escort and she said whatever she said. And by the way, we don't know what she said. We only hear his presentation of that. And a lot of times guys or people are so unrealistic with what they say. Like the number of times a guy has told me, women always tell me I'm ugly. And I say, okay, what are the exact words that they say? Tell me the exact fucking words that they are saying to you. Are they saying, you are ugly? And they're like, well, no, she said like, thanks, but I'm not interested. That's not the same fucking thing as you are ugly. That's just thanks, but I'm not interested. Do you know how many thousands of times I have heard the sentence, thanks, but I'm not interested? People have said that to me in business. Does that mean I'm a shit coach? People say that to me in dating. Does that mean I'm ugly? And so our brain has a story, like we have a belief, and then we confirmation bias. We go looking for evidence that that story is true. And we will look at shit that isn't even evidence, and we will just call it evidence. I like to look at it like it's a courtroom. I pretend we're in a courtroom. Could you imagine if the judge said, okay, present your evidence. Present the evidence that you're ugly. And you're like, well, 20 times a girl said, thank you, but I'm not interested. And the judge would be like, get the fuck out of my courtroom. Case dismissed. What the fuck is this bullshit? Where's the evidence, dickhead? And you'd be like, well, but Your Honor, that's the evidence. I'm ugly. Can you not tell? Look at me, Your Honor. I'm ugly. And the judge would be like, you look like a normal person. What are you talking? You just look like an average dude. What are you talking about? You're not ugly. So we have these fucking stories, man. I'd love to sort of contrast that a little bit with where you're at right now. So that was like your beginning story. You then obviously lost your virginity, had a bunch of sex in the time in the coaching. I think you slept with like 12 women or something in your first year of doing this. 10 or 12 or 8 or something.
Yeah, it was 12.
Quite a few.
Yeah. And that was kind of spending the first 6 months. It's spending the first 3 months with basically no dick, and then for all intents and purposes, and then
as in like performance anxiety.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like not a working dick. Like, yeah. So not really doing much, not doing much, and not even able to. I couldn't even get like the leg count number to go up because I couldn't physically. Like, maybe I could like stuff it in that limp, but yeah, it would be it wouldn't be like a very like glorious kind of like ascension. Yeah, and then 3. So I saw one girl for 6 months for the first 6 months, which was really awesome. I was not an ethical, honest dater while I was seeing her. And then, because then that went bad. I was feeling such neediness. And I think a lot as well was like a psychological self-wound of living a lie almost for so long. Basically, because I said I would be interested in a relationship, but I was just doing that to get laid. It was a classic, like,
yeah.
But then I was doing that for 6 months. Your brain doesn't really know if it's real or not. And to it, it's like, to my brain, that was my girlfriend and she wasn't doing what I wanted and up to the standards. So I bought more and got deeper and deeper into my own lie pretty much. And then I think that like loss of self, and that really just, if you think you've got bad self-esteem beforehand and you need to lie to get laid, try lying to get laid and succeeding, because that's going to fucking rip it out from underneath you. You're going to be like,
bro, yeah.
It's going to feed all of your insecurities.
She's only with me because I'm lying, not because she actually likes me. Yeah, this is why I say fucking autistic honesty. You won't like yourself if you lie or manipulate or say whatever you need to say just to get laid. With all the techniques and pickup artist stuff and all of that, you just don't end up liking yourself at all because you're not you anymore.
Yeah. And I think that's why it fucked with me so badly when it ended too. It was almost like I'd switched the kind of porn addiction for not even sex addiction, but like a validation addiction from her, from getting sex from her. And then added to that, I just bulldozed my self-esteem. I was telling myself things like, I've even lied to think, so she thinks I'm offering a relationship. And even lying like that, we're not happy and it's not going well. So it was even just adding to that. I remember maybe a month after we stopped talking, and I woke up like just dreaming about her. And like just like sad dreams as well. Like imagine you're a kid like lost in a train station or something, looking for your mum, but looking for a girl instead. It was like that kind of like level of like neediness and physical pain in these dreams. And I remember waking up, I was like, I've got to, that's enough kind of thing. It's time to change something. Yeah, that's kind of what got me into the first round of coaching pretty much.
That's cool, man. Yeah. And then we obviously gently but insistently encouraged you to be honest and upfront and all of that. And like,
yeah,
you know, as someone who's been through the coaching program twice now, how much do we focus on honesty with women and treating them like they're on the same team in the coaching group?
It's almost your USP pretty much, isn't it? It's kind of the main thing.
I don't shut the fuck up about honesty.
Yeah,
like
it's almost,
like how many times
dating if it's not honesty? It's that kind of it's that level.
Yeah, bro. Like how many times will a guy come in with a problem, like you or someone else, and they'll be like, "Hey, I'm stressing about this. I'm not sure about this. What do I say to her?" And I'm like, "Just fucking be honest, bro. Just everything you just said to us today here was perfect. Copy paste that to her. She's on your team. She's not the enemy. You don't have to whatever you would say to us, just say that to her. You don't have to sit around with the boys going like almost like gossiping, like, what am I going to say to this girl, guys? Come on, like let's figure out what I'm going to say. It's like include her in this group right now. Imagine she's sitting here right now with us as we're talking, instead of us talking secretly about her and spying on her almost and like imagining what we're going to go over there and say. Like, this isn't high school. We don't have to sit in our clique and talk about the other clique, like the other gender. Just go over there and be honest.
I actually made myself laugh the other day. I was driving and I was thinking to myself, I'd like to be upfront and honest and even like open up or, you know, have you, because that's got a bad connotation. People are like, oh, if you open up to her, she's going to view you as weak. But the reality is, like, this is my honest thoughts, not in a malicious way, but I thought I'll open up, and if opening up to her scares her off, I'll just replace her. Not in like, not, I know it sounds like really Machiavellian. Just generally like, yeah, and it just made me really laugh because it's almost, in one way, it's almost like the some sort of cold pimp thing to say, but it's really not. It's just like, I'll just find someone who I can talk to like that.
Yeah.
It was just so matter of fact. And then, it just made me start laughing because the way I said it, it sounded so cold, but it's also not. It's just.
Well, you can say it with warmth. You can say it with warmth.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll give 2 examples. Here's the cold Machiavellian version. Ready? I'm gonna do an extreme version. Bitches ain't shit, and if a bitch don't want to be with me, she can get the fuck out, and I'll just go date more bitches. Like, that's the most cold, extreme version I could ever come up with. But the warm version of that is, I'm gonna be my honest, masculine, true to myself self. And if someone doesn't like that, I completely understand. I don't like everyone. I don't want to date everyone. So if someone doesn't want to date me, that's beautiful. I hope they go and find what they're looking for. I will keep searching and find what I'm looking for. And I know there's people out there that will like me. And so I'll just talk to more women and I'll find the one that likes me. I will be a magnet for the women that like honesty and communication and authenticity and all of that. And lots of women don't like that. And if I find one of those women, I'll just be like, namaste. I hope you have a beautiful life. Like, that's it. That's like the warm version, which is what you're like. That's you as a person.
I get. Yeah. I guess the thing is, it's not a weak thing to do. That's the really funny part. It's the opposite.
Bro. Power is the ability to be able to walk away. And part of that is saying, this is who I am. If you don't like that, that's okay. I'll just go stand over there and find the person over there who likes me. Like, that's power, is going like, I don't care if you like me or not, or I care a lot less than I used to if you like me or not. It's like as masculine as you can be. And it's funny how it has a bad reputation. Hey, as like, if you're too honest and vulnerable, women will reject you. And it's like, what the fuck do I give a shit if she rejects me? Why do I care if she rejects me? Like, why are we living in fear of rejection? Oh my God, she's going to think less of me. What is she, my fucking mother? What do I care if she thinks less of me? Why does that bother me? Why do I need to care? And like, it bothers you because you're a human and all of that. Like, I get that. But like, you can get to a point where you're just like, I don't care if she doesn't like me. Like, that's okay. I don't like everyone. It's unreasonable of me to expect everyone to like me. It's like unrealistic. It's not going to happen.
It's a bit of a tangent, actually. It's it's really funny. The same as I thought of a Byron Katie quote. I just thought of the "Is that true?" but in just the funniest circumstances. I was saying this girl, and it was, I think we went 2 rounds, and I, in my head, I was like, I don't know if I can do another round, and I just, automatically, I just thought, is that true? And then I did another one.
What a time to start like dissolving the ego and challenging your limiting beliefs after you've come twice. I assume you mean you came twice in the bedroom.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You've come twice and you're just like, I'm exhausted. I can't have more sex. And you're like, is that limiting belief true? Could I potentially, is there like a world in which I have limitless orgasms and I could come 50 times? Like, and I'm just limiting myself and making myself small. Yeah.
it was so funny. It's almost like, I don't know if you've had, like when you have driving lessons and you do the habits from your teachers taught you pretty much, without thinking while you're driving. It was one of those moments where I'm like, almost like keeping up a good habit, but I'm just applying it automatically now to where, it's come out. Yeah. It's come out in that circumstance. It's really funny.
Yeah, you're questioning all your limiting beliefs. I think that's a big part of what the coaching is. Guys will come to the coaching with doubts or insecurities or limiting beliefs. Like, you're convinced something isn't true or might not be true. You know, maybe I can't lose my virginity. Maybe I'm a loser. Maybe I can't lose weight. Maybe there's not a girl out there for me. There's a guy in the coaching group right now who has really strong limiting beliefs when it comes to women, and he thinks he'll always be a loser and he'll never lose his virginity and all of that. A big part of the coaching is just gently saying, hey, bro, that might not be true. And I used to be a lot more blunt with that. I'd be like, bullshit, you're full of shit, that's wrong. And like, that can work too. But yeah, it's just holding up that mirror and saying, all right, I want you to ask yourself very seriously, very deeply, are you 100% sure that your limiting belief is true? And lots of times guys will be like, yes, I am certain. I'm a loser and I can never lose my virginity. And then it's just a process of gently dissolving that story or that ego. And it's that part of our ego that just is so fucking convinced that it's correct. And it's like, no, but I know I'm a loser. Okay, what's your evidence? Well, I tried to date women in the past and they said no to me. Okay, how many women did you try with? 15. And you're like, 15 is brilliant, but that's like the first week of trying in the coaching group. Like, we'll give you credit for talking to 15 women, but like, that's all you've done in your entire life? And they're like, yeah, isn't that a lot? And it's like, yes, like that's great, but like we would get you to talk to 15 women in your first or second week. There are some guys in the group right now, like Victor, as you know. Victor talks to like 30 to 35 women a day.
Yeah, I saw the one where he did, was it 33 in a day? And like, he only stopped at 33 because he went home with her, basically. Yeah.
He had sex, yeah. And then he's funny, man. Sometimes he has posted where he's like, this girl wanted to have sex with me, and so we went and had sex. But the entire time I was thinking like, oh, I'm kind of neglecting my cold approach like mission. I told myself I was going to do 30 approaches today. Should I really be going home with this woman to have sex? And it's like, wait, buddy, don't forget the goal. Like, don't get so caught up in like the process that you forget why you wanted to do it in the first place, was to have connection, have sex, have adventures. I want to jump back one thread to something you said before. We were talking about honesty and vulnerability and masculinity and how all those things tie in. You said at the end of your coaching, like this second round of coaching, you said, one of the things I'm happy about is that I do kink stuff now with a few girls, and I've explored my masculinity and I have more self-trust in the bedroom. Can you talk about what you mean by that masculinity and the self-trust? I want to hear what you mean by self-trust in the bedroom.
First of all, I grew up as a big kid. I would often like break things by accident, just not knowing my own strength kind of thing. You know, you get told off for that. You get told off in society for being like toxically masculine, whatever that means. And you kind of get told in school to sit down and be quiet and don't be boisterous or don't be too loud.
Yeah, I got told that 1,000 times as a very like ADHD child. Yep.
But then it turns out all that stuff is not being boisterous per se, but that kind of energy is just like really attractive to women as well. And it's really fun to like, you know, like I'm just trying to think of like, you know, going back to being a kid, like breaking something by accident. It's fun to be able to let that out without being afraid of kind of having that like, you know, if like a girl like says, choke me, like my hands are fucking huge, you know, like I'm just a big person. Like I don't want to be like, oh fuck, I've like killed her by accident, or, you know, not that extreme, but there's a lot of that. And then like the psychological part of like, I'd hate the idea of being like some sort of like repulsive aggressor in that sense of like a.
I know what you mean. Yeah. You don't want to hurt a woman. I'll just phrase it like that. You're a very nice guy, and you want to be kind to women.
I would hate to be seen as the like that kind of weird, uncalibrated, like aggressive, scary guy. I think the first stage is learning. By and large, that stuff like goes down really well. It's really fun. There's one girl I was talking to a few weeks ago. She's really into the idea of, without meeting, she's going to be. I don't know how it's going to work, because she's going to tie herself up in a room, and I'm going to walk into the room and like have my way with her. You know, that's going to be how we meet. That's what she wants to do. So it's really like
I've done that,
like really extreme. But then she described that as like it would be liberating to let go of needing to appear like not a slut or like a certain kind of appear in a certain way. Like, you know, the words are get like liberating or healing, which is really, you think it's counterintuitive because, I mean, like, yeah, like a bit of kind of rough play or whatever. You don't necessarily think of it like as liberating. And yeah, because I think because of my upbringing, you would view it as, yeah, like I'm doing something bad. But then it's like just really fun for both of you. So it's getting into
It can be incredibly healing. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then really funny part is exploring the other side. So it's probably more like a switch kind of chemistry. And then like I was another thing I was cracking myself up with. Like I went on this kind of, it was in the Abundance Collective. I was kind of starting to go through this summer, like focus more on the kink stuff, and then like exploring my masculinity and going down into that side. And then yeah, I'm here to like explore my masculinity and like a dominance and stuff. And then like next thing I'm fucking like tied to a bed frame. Like, am I being masculine right now? Like it was.
Yeah, you switched it up a little bit. You had a woman tie you up. Yeah.
And that was really insightful. It was so surprisingly like just really mind blowing because at the first, I think you feel like a lot of like pressure to perform as a man sometimes as well, and they're just not. And it's like I couldn't perform if I wanted to, and like she's hot as well, and I'm just like watching her like 23, like a hot 23-year-old, is tied me up, and is like getting off on seeing me get off, and I was like, this isn't in the script. Where has this come from? Yeah, I can see like the liberating aspect almost because I was like completely like liberated of like I need to be like some sort of fuck master kind of alpha male, which I wasn't too attached to that anyway, but there's always kind of a bit of that maybe competitive nature and like insecurity in that sense in the back of my mind, but then to completely just 180 that actually made it a lot easier to then be more assertive myself. And yeah, like the next time I saw her, I was just like completely kind of pretty much cut loose. Yeah, it was amazing. That's the first time I've really got in touch with that. Then I think partly because of my logistics right now in the small town, because I'm being so upfront with my like online dating approach, I'm obviously attracting like the most sex positive people. Of like all the other ones are just getting scared off by like this maniac sending these lewd messages. But because of that, we're like so open, and I'll have these kind of conversations where it's just like, you know, like the begging for you to like come in them, and they're just like, you know, like begging for it.
You've definitely gotten much more upfront and honest with what you message on the dating apps. Like you're just 100% upfront. Like, don't you basically tell them, hey, you know, I'd like to go down on you. I'd like to give you orgasms. Like, isn't that like your second or third message on the dating app?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The first is I basically say, hi, you're very attractive. In the spirit of transparency, I'm looking for something casual right now and crossing a few things off my bucket list. Like 90% say thanks for your honesty, but that's not what I'm looking for. And then like 5% will be like, what's on your bucket list? And then we'll go into like the second message. They'll open the can of worms. And then maybe like a few very, like sometimes they'll say like, you're hot, let's, you know, like tell me what's on the bucket list. It's a lot more like direct. And then like a few will be like a bit sassy maybe. Like I've had some be like, they just put like pass or something like that. Like just a bit of kind of like sass or whatever.
I get some of those too.
Yeah. And then, I basically say along the lines of like me giving them head pretty much. Is that up front? And then...
Yeah, you literally say like, I want to go down on you and I like to make a woman feel amazing with my tongue and stuff like that. Yeah. You've gotten to a point where you are like as upfront and honest as like I am on the dating apps. My message is literally just like, do you want to explore BDSM and kink with me? That's like literally my fucking message.
I'll get one like just as an example. Hi, you're very attractive. In the spirit of transparency, I'm looking for something casual right now and crossing a few things off my bucket list. She said, sounds interesting. And what's on your bucket list? I said, how upfront would you like me to be? And she said, I would like you to be honest. And I said, well, in that case, I'd really like to tease you with oral until you lose control. And she said, I wasn't expecting that answer. I don't know what to say. So I put, haha, maybe I should have said it's a bedroom bucket list. Yeah, that's kind of like a pretty typical one. And say if I do that 100 times in a week, 1 or 2 or like 3 on a good week. I mean, I said that to one of the girls I'm seeing now. She just said sold. That's what she's like put like the little auction hammer and said sold. And then, we met up the day after. Yeah, then basically I'll just go over. We'll have like a drink or we'll go to like a bar or something around the corner from theirs. But with the express kind of with the knowledge, I'll make it really like clear. Like, if we're going to go to a bar and it's going well, please invite me back to yours, kind of thing. It's I don't invite myself round, but it's as close as you can kind of get, pretty much, if that makes sense. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really want to drive to a town like half an hour, 40 minutes away to have a drink at a bar. I want to go there to have a drink at the bar to then find out if we can go back to hers, pretty much.
Yeah, you're basically being more upfront and honest. I do the same thing. I like literally lay out the game plan for the first day. I'm like, hey, here's what we'll do. Does that suit you? Are you happy with that game plan? Yeah, you can just talk about all of this stuff. I think a lot of people think that dating has to be this like you have to do techniques. You have to seduce her and try and get her back to the bedroom. You can literally just say like, hey, if we meet, do you want to like fool around afterwards, or do you want to save that for the second date? Like, what do you want to do? You can just talk about the logistics in a very autistic, honest way. And a lot of women, like, it doesn't even come across as autistic. It comes across as like, wow, this guy's considerate. He's actually asking me if he can get into my pants, instead of what most guys do, which is they just try and then she has to defend. She has to be like a goalkeeper, like trying to defend the fucking panties. You imagine how stressful dating is for women? And they'll tell you this if you ask. Imagine how fucking stressful it is to be a woman, and guys are always trying to get in your pants, and you have to be like, I want to defend, but I can't be too much of a defender because then I'm a bitch and he'll hate me. And I don't like confrontation, and I'm small, and I'm generally the weaker, more fragile sex. And I have to fucking defend my panties all the time. You know how refreshing it is for a guy to just be like, hey, I'd like to give you oral if we meet. Do you want to grab a drink? Are you up for any of that? And she's like, holy shit, I don't have to defend. I can just talk to this guy.
Yeah, I mean, by and large, the most common thing is just like, thank you for being honest. That's the most common response. Whether it's yes or no, it's just, yeah, I'm being kind of thanked for being honest. Going back to lying in the first kind of like situationship or whatever you want to call it I was in, I was literally lying to pretend I was like a square peg trying to fit in a square hole. Now I'm basically going the opposite, and I want to say this is what I want, and then I'm just going to kind of self-improve my way until, like, build my profile and build what I'm offering until that's a success. And it's such a massive difference because you set yourself a bar and then you rise to the bar rather than
Yes.
like living a lie and just collapsing into it. It's completely the opposite. Yeah, I'm kind of like, right, if I want to like seriously have success being this up front, I do feel like I need to be on top of like my grooming and like appearance. I'm kind of focusing on strength a lot now, and the best way to get stronger is to get a bit fat, but I'm not going to get too fat because I kind of know as well it's going to kind of devalue my offer almost. That's the other thing. It's basically like a business offer. My ego's not tied up in it like it used to be, to where it's like, oh, this is a horrible blow to my self-esteem and self-worth. Now it's kind of like, okay, maybe I'll get a bit more jacked or like look a certain way or do something like that to like build the offer. Same as with the kink stuff. It's like, maybe I'll work on this side, go for what you want, and then build your offer up. And then it has the effect of like improving you as a person. It makes you more honest.
I really like the idea of it being an offer. I agree with that. That's a big part of what the coaching is in this community. You can kind of think of it like this. A lot of guys, a lot of people take dating very personally. And if someone says no to them, or if a lot of people say no to them, or if they're not getting any matches or they're not getting results, they will take that as a value judgment of themselves. And they'll go, I must be unworthy. But you can kind of take a step back and be like, it's just business, baby. If girls aren't dating you right now, think of it like business. Okay, what do I need to improve? I'm offering a product, which is you yourself, and I guess a service as well. If you're going to go down on her, that's a beautiful service. You're going to provide sexual services. So you're offering a product and a service yourself. But this. And how do I improve this? And that doesn't mean fake it. That is like the exact opposite of what we're saying. But if right now nobody's paying you any attention, okay, would people pay you a little more attention if you dressed a little bit more currently, like more in style, better fashion? Would people pay you a little bit more attention if you lost some weight? Because losing weight is a sign of, a million different things. But we look at people that are very overweight, and nothing against them. but our brain immediately goes, they don't care about themselves that much. Like that is just almost everybody's first judgmental thought. I'm not even saying it's correct, but that is the first thought we have. If you're not super talkative and you're very quiet and mousy, some people are into that and there's nothing wrong with that. But would more people pay attention if I was just 10% more confident or 10% louder? And it's not about massively changing yourself or being someone that you're not. It's about finding your strengths and almost presenting that to people in a way where the people that like that will be able to find it. You're bringing out your qualities and saying, here's the qualities inside of myself that I think you might like. I'm going to present them to women. And that's all this is. That's all you've done with the BDSM stuff on like the dating apps. That's all I did. I really liked BDSM. I thought it was a really cool thing I wanted to explore. So I just started putting that on the dating app. And I was like, I wonder if women will be into this. These days, I'm really into honesty and spirituality and kindness and believing each other better than you found each other. So I put that on my dating app. And that's what I present. I present like the nice guy side of me because that's what I'm looking for. And so it's about figuring out what you want in people that you date and what you might have to offer, and then putting that sort of front and center. I want to contrast where you used to be as a virgin at 27/28, unhappy, really thinking that like, God, what if I end up as one of these like 40-something-year-old guys who's a virgin and still hasn't had sex? I want to contrast that with where you're at right now, because I think like you're a very humble guy. You're not really going to brag much, but like you're having a lot more sex than we're talking about in this conversation. You're having tons of sex. You're dating women basically all the time. You now know that you can have multiple women like whenever you want. You're very upfront and honest with them. They're coming in seemingly effortlessly for you. And I know you're putting in effort, but like it kind of is just happening now. You're in a routine. Women will just come in without you doing a whole lot. I would love to hear what you would say to a guy who's maybe a virgin in his late 20s or 30s, and he's feeling exactly what you used to feel, where he's like, I don't think I can do this. Alistair can do it because he's confident or he's cool or he's got a nice body or he's big and strong, but I can't do it. What would you say to that guy?
I mean, the physique one always triggers me because everyone can do that one. Is
yeah,
just go to the gym then. Like, I'll train you.
Yeah,
like.
you were just born with muscles, bro. It came easy to you. Yeah,
like the amount of times I've been like, I wake up 5 a.m, I'm in the gym at like 6. Yeah, the amount of like effort I put into that for over a decade now. Yeah, that one's crazy to me because people are like, oh, it's so much is genetics and all this kind of stuff. And in the same way, if you're like a virgin or whatever, look at it the same way. You're being fatalistic, but you just haven't explored the avenues that you can take to change. And you're so much more malleable than you think you are. Yeah, it's just mind blowing. Like there's some sort of brainwashing that goes on. I think when you start getting success as well. I never counted, but I think I've seen like over 30. It's over 30 and under 35. You become so different, and that kind of happens in the background. But it's just like brainwashed by my own success. I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can fucking do it.
That's your message to the virgins. You can fucking do it. Let's switch over to business. Something cool that you've done. I think you did it the first round of coaching, but then you've really gone hard in the time since, and then especially in this round of coaching, is you've started building your own, or you already have, a successful business that pays all of your bills. You do window cleaning and gutter cleaning and driveway cleaning and all of that sort of stuff. How cool is it being able to say, like, all the money that came into my bank account was because of me?
Yeah, it feels really good. It feels quite surreal as well. I'll send a confirmation text because the window cleaning, it's recurring on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. So you get to a point where you'll send these texts out and, maybe 10 people will be like, oh yeah, brilliant, see you tomorrow. And you're like, holy shit, I've just got a whole day of work scheduled. Yeah, if it's all cash in hand as well, you kind of just have it. I used to stick it in my van glove box, and then at the end of the week, open it up and just see the wad of cash in there.
Well, like some drug dealer. There's just like a bunch of loose cash in the fucking glove. Gee, what would happen if the cops pull you over? Yeah.
I wouldn't lock the door either, which is really bad.
But... Oh, fuck me, brother.
And yeah, so I just scoop out this cash. So I kind of started this March. I took a week off just to use up my holidays and knock doors to try and get a bit of momentum. I think it's like I was 6 weeks in, I got to 60 customers, then I got my van. So I was 6 weeks in with a van with 60
That's
customers.
pretty successful at that point. 6 weeks, you have like a functional business. That's impressive.
Going door to door is insanely, it's uncomfortable, but it's just nuts how quickly you can scale if you're doing a service business like that. Yeah, I remember just being sat in the van that I was paying for and paying off with, like, comfortably with the money I was making from knocking doors and showing up and just cleaning people's houses. They would just give me money. And yeah, like my money was like ticking up to where I've come back to the coaching program for a few months because I was like, oh shit, I can afford to do that. That's really cool.
You basically came back like for a little bit of dating, but you came back a lot. You were like, guys, I just want you to push me to make more money. And like, that's what we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting hotels to like see girls and stuff with money I've made from cleaning stuff is crazy. It's such a cool experience. I've built this from scratch, and it's just that feeling of building something like that. You're kind of just there like, holy shit, this is cool.
Well, I like the way you've done it, where you just built it up like very much from the bottom up. I have so many friends, my man, who have literally built cleaning businesses. And if someone comes to me and says, I want to start my own business, it's very important to me. I want to be able to earn my own money. I like the freedom that comes from that. I want to make some, a lot of money and be rich and wealthy. If they have no idea what they want to do, like literally zero idea, and nothing is calling out to them, I have a process that I go through to try and brainstorm and get them thinking about what they could be passionate about. Like we have a whole process. But if we get to all of that and they're like, I still kind of don't know what I want to do, I'm like, just go start a fucking cleaning business. And I have like seriously like 30 friends that I know that have started a cleaning business. A bunch of people in the coaching program have started cleaning businesses. You either go to people's houses and clean the inside of their house, or you clean the exterior. You clean the windows and the driveways or the gutters or any of that sort of stuff. I know people that do like sort of like not quite landscaping, but more like they will trim your trees and mow the lawn mowing businesses. I know a couple of people that do that. So I guess it's like gardening and landscaping. But you just do one of these things because these are the most like in need businesses that I can possibly think of. Like people have a house and they want it to look pretty, but they're time poor and they have a little bit of cash lying around and they would give it to you if you would just make their house look pretty. Like you're buying them validation from their neighbors. You're buying them a sense of pride. You're buying them a sense of love because they feel like I have put love into the place that I live in. You literally buy them peace of mind. They get to come home and be like, wow, my windows are clean or my driveway looks pretty. And someone will walk past and be like, oh, who did your driveway? It looks so nice and clean. And they're like, oh, thank you. Wow. Even though they didn't do it. But like, and then they get to advertise your services to that person and give you a referral and all of this. It's one of the easiest businesses to build up. You literally just said within 6 weeks, I could afford my own freaking van. The beautiful thing about the type of business that you've built and anyone who wants to do the same thing is you can literally just cold approach strangers, which is what you do when you're door knocking. So like, hi, my name's Alistair. How's it going? I love your house. I'd love to clean it for you. Would you like that? The best example I have of this is one of my friends. He did this challenge. He slept in a park overnight in a sleeping bag. No wallet, no phone, no keys, no car, no business card, no equipment, nothing. Basically, like he was saying, even if you're fucking homeless and you literally live in a park, this is what is possible if you hustle. And then he walked around for about 12 hours and just door knocked on like hundreds of houses, door knocked and ended up earning $600 in 12 hours. $600 in a fucking day with no equipment. And then he said, okay, here's $600. Imagine if you were to put that into like a van, do that for a week or two. Now you can buy a van. Do that for another week. Now you have equipment. Do that for another week. Well, now you have business cards and pamphlets and brochures. And you've done that. Like you hand out brochures and put them in people's mailbox. You can very much build this shit up. Another person I love for this is a guy named Ryan Trahan, who's a YouTuber. He's like mega famous. And he has done several series now where he crosses America with like one penny. And he just hustles. He's got one penny. He just walks up to a stranger. He's like, if I have this penny, would you give me a pen for that. And someone's like, oh, okay. And they dig through their bag. They're like, here you go. He gives him a penny. Thanks. He goes up to someone else with his pen and he's like, I have this pen. Would you give me a water bottle for that? Like a full water bottle. And someone's like, okay. And they swap that. Then he goes around, hey, I have this water. It's warm. It's not cold. It's not good water. Would anyone give me $1 for this? Someone gives him $1. He's like, okay. He uses that dollar to buy like a can of Coke or something, goes and gets more money for that. Eventually, he builds up to being able to buy like a full 24 pack of water from the supermarket, goes around selling that. From that, he then has like $10 or something or $20. He makes a big sign out of a piece of paper, writes water, $2, goes around, earns like $20. Then he buys an esky and some ice and some cans of Coke. And now he has a big sign that says cold soft drinks, $2. Makes like $100 from that. With that, he can sleep. And he just like keeps hustling and grinding and doing shit like that. He's also done door knocking, where he just knocks on businesses and says, if I clean the front of your windows, would you pay me like $20? And they're like, yes. And then he goes, okay, could you pay me now? This is going to sound weird, but could you pay me half of it now so I can go and buy the equipment to clean your windows? Because I don't have the equipment. I literally don't have the fucking equipment to clean your windows. And some of them are just like, I mean, that's weird, but like, okay. And he goes and buys the equipment. He cleans their windows. Yep, great job. Here's $20. And he just does that. So like, I say this all the time. Like, literally anyone could start a business this second. Just like anyone could go and get laid right this second if they want to. You might have limiting beliefs. You might not believe it's possible. That's okay. Like, you work through those. But like, business is not complicated, dude. Like, it's so not complicated. It's like, here's this product or this service that I'm offering. Would you give me money for it? A lot of people, maybe most people say no, and some people say yes.
Yeah, it was a $600 in a day video that got me started on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, since then I've done 500 in like about 7 hours. I've done about 550 in 2 hours because I knocked on the door of a property manager. Yeah, over £500 of work from knocking one door. She'd never met me before. I just gave her a leaflet and said, this is me. And then we, emailed back and forth and got it like booked in and sorted out. And we've had like recessions in this country since then. And like English people have got like a reputation for being a lot more kind of like cynical and standoffish. You might think, only like Americans are like friendly and it's nice, like a nice sunny kind of country. So they'll be like happy to like see you at the door. And like in like rainy England, it's going to be different. But no, it's not. It's there's still plenty of like grumpy people wherever you go, but you just don't talk to them and you just go on to find the ones that do want to do business with you. Yeah, I think you can do it anywhere in the world, pretty much. Anywhere there's properties and people who want to have them maintained, you can do it.
There are always going to be people that will give you money to do something for them. If you literally have no fucking idea what you want to do, we just gave you suggestions. Just do a cleaning business or something like that. Or offer consulting to people like what I do, like life coaching. Just be there for people. But if you still can't even think of what to do, and again, I have a whole process in the coaching program to help you figure that out. If you're really not sure, you're welcome to come to coaching. But if you still cannot figure it out, you can literally just cold approach 100 people on the street, like literal random strangers, and be like, hi, hello, shake their hand. Hi, my name's Andy. Nice to meet you. I'm trying to build up my income. I want to start my own business. And what I'm doing is I'm offering services for people, whatever they want. So is there anything that you've always wanted to get done? Maybe you're struggling with some goals and you want some motivation. Maybe your house needs painting and I could paint it for you. Maybe your car's a little bit run down and I don't, you'd have to know something about cars. But you could literally just say like, is there something that you would like help with? And you can pay me whatever you think that is worth. And if you cold approach 100 people, a bunch of them will be like, you could paint my house. And you'd be like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, where's your house? And they'll be like, wait, are you being serious? And you're like, yeah, I told you I'm trying to build a business. Yeah. Yeah, you pay for the paint. I'll paint your fucking house.
Yeah. It works as well because so many people, I think, go through life in kind of a spectator mode. And if some like crazy person comes up to them, like, can I paint your house? Like there's a lot of people like me included who's like, yeah, fuck yeah, you can. That's like the most exciting thing that's happened all week.
Yes. If someone comes up to me and says, can I do anything for you? Like, can I paint your house or some shit? I don't have a house, but like, can I do some shit for you? I'd be like, fuck, bro. Like, why don't you cook my meals? You don't have to be good at cooking. I just eat fucking meat. I'm on a keto carnivore diet. Cook me a week's worth of meat. I'll pay for all the meat and shit. You cook it, bro. I'll give you fucking $50 and we'll sip some beers. We'll shoot the shit. We'll become friends, bro. You can come and cook my meals like every fucking week or so. I'll give you $50. Like, why the fuck not? Maybe I wouldn't pay that much, but like, you get the point. Like, why not? There's lots of people out there who'd find that really fun. Yeah, I think to take us back a step, putting in 6 to 7 hours worth of just approaching, essentially. Imagine if the average guy put in 6 to 7 hours of approaching women a week and what that would do for his dating life, or the average guy put in 6 to 7 hours working on a business every single week. Like, you would absolutely just go further than you could ever imagine. I think a lot of the time we think we're playing the numbers game. We think we're doing a lot, but like, there's always a little bit more we could do.
And then there's just the spiritual growth of being rejected. It's just so good for you going back. I mean,
it's healing, brother.
Yeah,
it's healing.
Yeah, it's really like one of those ones where the first time it happens, you can just like look down at your hands and be like, "Oh, look, my arms haven't been blown off.
I'm still alive.
Everything's fine." Yeah, exactly. The world is completely the same as it was when you talked to this person as it is now after you've talked to them. Even if they've like said like, "Fuck off, you pig! How dare you offer to clean my windows?" Like, even if someone said something like that, I think if someone said that now, that would just be like so. It'd be so funny, yeah. It'd just be so like personally the ones that get me most are the really kind of where they like stick their head around the door and like frown at you, like they're really suspicious. Those are the ones that personally would annoy me the most. But even now, it becomes just really funny. You don't because I can't remember what the people look like, even if I wanted to, because I just on to the next door. So it's just kind of, you just view it as like almost like an archetype. So I've got maybe like grumpy middle-aged man archetype saying no, and like your brain just compartmentalizes it, and then your brain's like, is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. Discard this information. Don't get hung up at all on it. On to the next thing. So you get that resilient to where it becomes so kind of logical and just chilled out in that way. Same as with women as well. Like I'm just like, she obviously doesn't like my plans. Would I like to talk to her and spend time like talking on an app rather than meeting up? No, I wouldn't like that. Discard this information. It's not relevant anymore. Move on to the next. It becomes like just like a processing. It's almost just like a processing system. And yeah, you just move through it, and then before you know it, you've been knocking doors for 6 hours a day. And you've got 10 new customers in a day, and you can then chill out for the rest of the week, or you can do that for the next 6 days and get 60 customers in a week, like I did in 6 weeks, and get your van in your first week if you want. Like, it's that crazy.
Yeah, it's all a numbers game, bro. I think it's super inspirational. I'd like us to start moving towards the finish line a little bit. What would you say to the old you? I want you to imagine the 27-year-old self, 27, 28-year-old, performance anxiety, erectile dysfunction, insecure, doubting whether or not he could ever make it, no business, no kink, weaker body, feeling stuck. What would you tell that guy? And I guess, what would you promise him about his future if he just keeps going?
I've thought of this a lot. There's one a podcast you did where it's like a letter to your younger self. Yeah, no, I thought a lot, and I would just say thank you. I don't think I have any advice or anything. I would just say thanks, because it turned out I did give it a go and it worked. So, yeah, that's what I'd say.
That's beautiful, bro. Fuck, like that's not too dissimilar to what I, like that letter to my younger self. I basically just say like, it's okay. Like, everything's going to be okay. I promise it works out. Like, you're going to be fine, brother. Like, I know you're suffering, but yeah, I like the word thanks. That's beautiful, man.
Try as you're going to try, because I know you're going to try, because I've got benefit of hindsight. And make all the mistakes you make, and yeah, just thank
Mm.
you because you tried, and like even like your worst like blunders or fuck ups, like that's all fine too. It's yeah, just keep going and do as exactly you're going to do everything.
Mm. Mm. Beautiful, man. Where do you think you'd be if you hadn't signed up for the coaching? Maybe the first or the second time?
I think I'd be one of those, like the looks maxing the Zoomers with the.
I know what you mean. Doing like mewing and all the
Yeah, that's it.
techniques.
Yeah. I'd be like, I did try that actually when I started. Yeah, I'd probably be down that route more. It would be a lot more. Yeah, I don't know. I would have probably been a lot more kind of cautious in a way, and I would have spent more time trying to like manicure myself into something like the handsome Squidward looking meme kind of guy before I even tried to just get my feet wet. And I probably would have.
Mm.
I think I would be a lot more disengaged in areas that I'm happy that I'm engaged in, and a lot more outcome dependent, and a lot more heavily kind of weighted into kind of more superficial approaches. I think I would have success in areas, but I wouldn't appreciate it as much as well. I might have like a good looking girlfriend and some sort of like red pilled, like say the right thing robot, but it wouldn't feel authentic, and I wouldn't have the resilience and calm that you build from doing things the messy way as well, and having to like navigate challenges that you can't predict. Yeah, I'd like to meet that guy though. It'd be a cool alternate universe kind of a meeting of the Alistairs, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to. It's fun to play around with like alternate ideas of who you'd be if you hadn't done X, Y, and Z. And I know these questions are theoretical when I ask them. They're still interesting to play around. Who would you be if you hadn't signed up for coaching? Is a roundabout way of saying, did the coaching help you? So I guess I'll just be autistically honest. Did both rounds of coaching help you? Are you glad you signed up?
Oh yeah, it's amazing, and it's so funny too because it's a lot of money, but if you just sign up to make earning money your goal, then it's not a lot of money. Yeah, I mean it's corny too, but all like the lessons and stuff are just you can't put a price on them, so just fucking like sign up to make money, and then you're gonna get a lot of kind of spiritual growth alongside that. So you'll get things that are priceless, and then you'll get to where like that's another really cool achievement. Like paying for the first round of coaching, and then looking back because I did like the payment plan, and looking back after a bit over a year, being like, holy shit! Like because I was spending a lot on other things. I spent money on vans, 2 rounds of coaching now, a nice flat in a city centre. While I'm not rich, the amount I've been able to plow through at a really fast rate, but keep it turning over and keep myself going, and look back and be like, holy look how much money's come in and come out of this account. It's not even a big deal. It's you can just grow yourself to where you're capable of that, not even being like not really making a dent in your finances. So
Yeah.
I almost take it for granted like how much I improved in the first round and how much I've improved in this round, and that's going to have like a cumulative effect for the rest of my life. So like the amount I spent is going to just fade into insignificance, and then the lessons I've learned have moved me forward and just accelerated my life so much to where it's just not. Yeah, I can't do the maths in my head, but yeah, it's fucking like it's really good. It's really good.
I feel that about all the coaching that I've ever spent money on, and like webinars I've gone to, just all the money I've spent on self-improvement and coaching and mentors. You're paying once to have payoffs for the rest of your life, recurring payoffs. Like anyone else, if I said to them, hey, if you give me $500 right now for the rest of your life, I'll give you $20 a month. It doesn't take you very long to do the maths on that and be like, wait, I'd make up my money in the first 2 years, and then for the rest of my life, I'm getting a free $20 a month. Fuck yeah, man. Here's $500. Except you're doing that where it comes to literally the happiness of the rest of your entire life. You are literally making yourself more happy, more peaceful, more content, better with women, better with business, more stoic, more able to sleep at night, less regrets, more peace, love, joy, and abundance, and that for the rest of your life if you pay once. Like, that value proposition is insane. And I also like to play around with it from the opposite as well. Like, anytime I'm nervous to spend lots of money on a coach or something, I will literally say, how much money am I wasting right now, or spending, I guess, spending on self-medication? Like, would I drink less? Would I play less video games? Would I look at less porn? Would I do any of these things that are currently costing me money and time less if I was happier? Or if I could guarantee that I would fix this problem in my life, dating, business, whatever it is, if I could guaranteed improve or fix that, would I self-medicate less? And it's like, yeah. Okay, let's do the maths on that. How much money would I save if I wasn't drinking every week or playing video games every week, buying a new game every fucking week? How much money would I save? And so when you think about it like that, it's like, yeah, like for me personally, I'm always just going to spend money on coaches and mentors and shit. Because like, what the fuck else am I going to spend my money on? Stupid shit that I don't really enjoy. Like, a new iPhone doesn't make me happy. It does temporarily. A new piece of technology makes me temporarily happy, but working on my mindset, feeling more connected to myself and my fellow human beings, like that's, yeah, I'm glad other people drilled into me the power of like mentorship and coaching and stuff early on, because I had a big ego with that. I was like, oh, it's a lot of money, like I can do it by myself. I'm just glad that broke in me, and I will like always see my coaches for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I've been coming as like the guy who was the 28-year-old with a life full of regret already, almost. Yeah. The ability to face like everything that I experienced in my life, I'm now experiencing as a different person, and the upgraded Alistair can now deal with all these problems so much easier. And like, I think I try not to do it too much, but if I went back in time as I am now, and I could just tell myself what to do. I know I've said, obviously, like I wouldn't change the past, but every one of those problems would just be a complete like cakewalk. But now I know going forward, whatever happens and whoever I meet going forward, I'm in such a better position to, I don't know what, like engage in like debauchery with the next woman I meet, like rather than just being like terrified and running away. So yeah, you just can't put a price on that or predict the impact it's truly going to have on your life.
Yeah, the entire rest of your life is different. I guess on that note, if someone has been thinking about coaching with us, but maybe they're a bit nervous or they're on the fence, what's maybe one or two sentences that you might say to them?
I'd say just speed run it, because you could think about coaching for 6 months, or you could just do it and then have all the benefits earlier, and then you just change your like trajectory. That's the other thing. It's like the speed of implementation kind of principle. If you just act now and go for it, then you're going to save so much time. It's almost better just like dive bombing it and going for it rather than considering and weighing up your options.
Yeah, now is the absolute perfect time for coaching as well. There's currently a 50% off discount just for the next 25 days. So I'll leave a link down below to that. We can have payment plans. Alistair has even taken payment plans. I will jump on a free call with you guys and make sure the program is right for you. Again, there's a link down below. Alistair, my brother, thank you for being here. Thank you for being an inspiration. Thank you for being your wonderful self. Thank you for being so honest and upfront with women, with customers, with men, and with all of us and with everyone, dude. Like, I don't say this lightly, but you are such a huge inspiration to me and to everyone else. And you probably don't realize this, but your story and just you and the things that you've overcome, the things you've done, are going to inspire a lot of people, man. So thank you. Like you said, thank you to your younger self. I'll say thank you to this self. Thank you, current and past Alistair.
No, thanks for being inspired and having me on. It's really cool.
Yeah, brother. All right. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, go out there, crush those goals.